Clash of Clans podcast, OG, episode 74. Skilly beep 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 skilly beep. And welcome back to the podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Scotty827, joined live in studio by the two hosts of the Pineapples and Thorns. Why am I doing it like a game show host? Like you're going to win something. Or like it goes to the Pineapples and Thorns podcast. Kat and CallMeTee, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Hello. I kind of wanted to do it as the Queen of Clash and Daddy T.
I don't know if Daddy is appropriate, but
Daddy T.
Yeah, that's a first. That's the first time I usually get like teacher with two E's. Like there's a lot of puns that people have made with my name over the years, but Daddy T is a new one. But whatever floats your boat, man.
It might just be the best. Save the best for last.
Oh, thank you.
Or you could just call him Call.
Oh God, please
call. Call.
Yeah, everybody in Sons of Guns knows if you want to just annoy me, that's what you do. You just say, "Oh, thanks for the troops call," and I'm just like, I'm hitting my head on a desk somewhere.
Oh man, and you really got to think through those things before you choose your name too. Like, what are they gonna text you? What are they gonna call you? And the like, we have to say God to God and clan, right? Like, what do you want to people to short it as, which is kind of fun. And Kat is also the leader and extraordinary I don't even know how to community driver, I guess, at Red Thorn, and CallMeTee is from Sons of Guns. And how many clans do you have under you?
We are currently fighting against our membership to open a fourth. We really don't want to open a fourth clan. I know. We have somebody named Baiters who's been running a clan for like his in real life friends that have kind of sort of stopped playing. So like we've started to send some, alts and minis over that way. And we're just trying real hard not to have a fourth official clan. Like for CWL, I have around 125 to 130 accounts that we're balancing, and it's over 100 individual people. So it's a lot. There's a lot. It's a lot of herding cats for sure.
Yeah.
Kat and I were talking about that beforehand too.
Yeah. In Red Thorn, we have 3 clans officially.
Okay.
They kind of like spills
in satellite.
over.
I was thinking of them like planets or something, like solar systems, and you kind of have these like moons and planets and things like that. I think with that growth or whatever, is it 3 clans? I mean, I think you just have to do it. I think you have to like draw your line right there, because I think after that it becomes something different. Like when you get
like from a leadership perspective, like from me, because I mean, I run Red Thorn, and then Fuzzy and Drac run the Rated, and Magnus and the crew there run Shiny Gemerald. So, even though they're independent clans within Red Thorn, I'm kind of there as a
connector.
Presence. Yeah, and so to add a like 4th or 5th clan, we've thought about it a couple of times, and they're promptly like, not yet, please.
Yeah, I think
someday we may be forced to, but hopefully,
I don't know. I think there's something to be said for 3 clans, where for us we have Sons of Guns, Loot and Grind, Han Shot First, and each one serves a bit of a different purpose. Where Sons of Guns, we have like the requirement to join Sons of Guns is basically need max heroes, like minimum, and obviously that means you're in Tunnel 17. It means you're well progressed. There's also an issue where we keep about 48 accounts in there. So in order to join, somebody probably has to take a break. So Sons of Guns is kind of like the top of the line. This is all of our active guys. It's all of the people that are playing the most and the longest. Then we have Loot and Grind, where it's like, that's if you're in Town Hall 17 but not maxed heroes and you're still working your way up and you're newer, it's a great spot for you. And then kind of everyone that's not Town Hall 17 yet, or is super new into Town Hall 17, because both Loot and Grind and Handshot First are rush friendly. Handshot First kind of is like the catch-all for everybody else. And we're in a good enough position where our lowest town hall right now is someone who just joined us. He just hit Town Hall 13, and I've been pushing him to go faster. So like our minimum town hall is pretty high.
The bridge is collapsing behind him.
Yeah,
kind of thing?
pretty much. Yeah. And that's why like some people have been trying to say like we need a fourth clan, is like we need a space for like lower accounts. And I kind of, it's like being in CFF.
Where does it stop?
Right, exactly. Like being in CFF, we have enough family-friendly clans that like if you have an alt that's just a random Town Hall 9 that you play a little bit and you're not really playing it seriously, like I don't need to run a clan for you. There are clans that are chill and relaxed, and they're not trying to win every war, and they're not trying to do all those crazy things. It's just for people to like park accounts and we'll go there, you know? Like we don't need a
You're like, go out, join another clan so you know how good you have it here.
Right, exactly.
100%.
Truly.
See if they
it's scary out in the
offer you
wild
a
there, let me
warm
tell you.
towel.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. How about you, Kat? Does it kind of fall like that too? Or are they all
Well, okay, so Red Thorn it's all 17, and pretty much everybody there is max. We kind of we're chill. We kind of just do our thing, and we war nonstop. And then the rated is more of we like to call them our little try-hard clan. They're all 17s, and their goal is to destroy the world and establish dominance. And Shiny Gemeralds it's a mix of strategic rushers and people that are farming up accounts. So it's our mixed breakdown clan. So
I'm
it's a
just
good
wondering.
balance.
We talk about that between like going back and forth between lower accounts in one at times and stuff, which is not really probably an issue right now, but I like for us, I'm always curious, like if like it's kind of that's like a general rule, or if that's kind of what it becomes, and because every clan seems to kind of do it a little bit differently, but it also seems to kind of follow similar patterns.
Yeah, like
between clans.
The end game is always to get up and play at the highest level, right?
Yeah.
Although there's quite a few people who have alts, and there's people who've just picked up the game again recently, and they're trying to catch up, as it were.
Yeah.
So you almost have to have a clan that will take the lower accounts, and we encourage people to, if they're trying to progress more quickly, to follow T's guide. So they need a place to war.
I kind of wonder too if like, so as we're talking about it, like in the old days, or just in a regular clan, even, right? You end up having like, of those 50 people, you kind of end up grouping by like the top, the people who are joining, and then you've got like kind of the people in the middle, and then it kind of seems like the clans end up taking on. You end up getting a clan that would have kind of been at each stage of that, if that makes sense. Like the people that would have been at the bottom of one, if you were just in one clan, and end up kind of in one clan, and it just kind of expands out.
I think one of the things that we kind of struggled with in our previous clan family was the different identities that clans can have. And one of the things that's difficult is you need to constantly be replacing people that are taking breaks, and people are taking breaks at the top. So you have people that are completely maxed. Like we had somebody that was playing with us for probably 2 or 3 years. He had 5 I think it was 15 at the time, I guess. Like 5 maxed accounts, was playing in basically all of our CWLs, and then he took a break one day. So like if you're not recruiting people constantly, like how do you deal with the churn that is just inevitable? People stop playing, right? So
Yeah.
one of our like pushes was to be a place that a new player could learn the game in a friendly environment, and that just kind of naturally provides an on-ramp for people to get to the point of maxed, right? Especially if they're, reading my guide and following the principles of it. Because if you're maxing, like none of my clans are going to be a good place for you, because you'll have different wants and desires at different town halls that all 3 of my clans are basically not going to give you. You know what I mean? Like all of my clans, like either you're not going to be a Town Hall 17 because you're going slower, and then you're not going to fit in Sons of Guns, you're not going to fit in Loot and Grind, and then in Hanshot First, we're intentionally allowing people to upgrade their heroes during regular wars because we want them to progress their accounts to get higher level, to get better offense, and do all of these things. So if you're a maxed player at, say, Town Hall 13, you're going to be facing really strange matchups, and the wars are not going to be, really high win rates. Like we're
that's good.
Like we push for, like, we want 60%. That's like that's our goal, is so that everybody's getting at least a 2-star somewhere on the roster that's above your mirror, and then your other attack ideally would be like a 3 on something lower than you, but obviously the vagaries of Supercell's matchmaking means that's not always possible to do. But we do our best, and so every war we're trying to get everybody the most amount of ore they can, and all of that. And so we have a very friendly, welcoming place for people that's like realistic with how progression works in Clash. Like even if you're a maxer, at some point you have to upgrade your heroes. Well, what do you do while you're upgrading your heroes? You only get 1 for free now, which, thank you, Supercell, like that's good, but you still got 5 to do. So you need an environment to make that work. And I've unfortunately seen a lot of clans either collapse or just become, shells of themselves because they weren't replacing the people that were taking time off or retiring or quitting the game. And that's just like the reality of any game that you're playing for a long time, is that people come and go. And so you need that
life
little
happens,
bit of a
right?
treadmill. Yeah, exactly. Like there's nothing against that. People they could even just be finding a different game that they want to play more. So,
that's
like
not even. Don't even. No, I'm just kidding.
Clash is the only game on the planet.
It is
All
only
the
one
other
out there.
games, they're all fake.
Right.
They're all like that ad where you have like the guy swiping between the lanes and the gunners getting bigger. Doesn't really exist in real life.
It's no Dance Dance Revolution, but
Right.
Well, and one thing that I found also with, like people leave and then they come back, and it's a little overwhelming for them, some OG members who, they stopped at whatever town hall level 12 or 13 or whatever before equipment, and they come back and all of a sudden they've got all this equipment and they get a little overwhelmed, right? And then I had one guy come back and he quit a game because he said, I can't deal with all this equipment. And trying to tell him that you don't need to max it all.
It doesn't
right.
Like
when you come back in and you're used to being like at the top. I remember looking at Dirty Pirates base, and he was the guy who had the stuff the day of. He was the only person who jammed that I knew of. And when I played for a while, I went to look at when I got back into it and I started playing again, I went and looked at his base, and he was lower than me, and it was like such
weird.
It was cognitive dissonance. Like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
I remember when I maxed, which I believe was Town Hall 13, when I like maxed for the first time, I went and looked up Clash with Dusk's account, and he had stopped playing at that point, and I was further progressed than he was, and I had that same sort of like little like gut punch, like, oh, this is the guy that like brought me back into the game, and like now I'm beyond him. But
I guess Outlast is part of it too.
Right.
And
for sure.
Yeah, like I've been playing since 2014, I think, and I've always been like max.
It's been a long road. Oh, you maxed up like every time, all the way.
Yeah, so it's it's a little different for me to like not have max equipment, or like on my second 17, I just kind of gave up on trying to max like all the supercharges and the temporary defenses and stuff. It's like it was too much.
Yeah.
What was too much? Was it the
Well, I still needed to do walls. So I had to pick something, and I thought, well, walls are going to be there when Town Hall 18 drops, right?
Yeah.
So the temporary defenses are going away. Some of the supercharges are going away. So I thought, let's focus on walls and get those done.
Do you spend money on the game, like buy books?
Not very often. Like not on that account. Like if I used to buy gold passes on both my 17s, and I stopped doing that.
Okay. I'm just wondering because and that makes complete sense now that I really think about it, because I just got mine maxed like 2 weeks ago or something. And I'm thinking like, well, I was coming from like I was really behind like a year ago, but I did use a bunch of books, and like the $2.99, like not a ton, but anytime there was like a good deal, I would grab one or whatnot. So if you didn't do that, I just was wondering, like, I didn't somehow do it faster, that,
well,
because
it's
obviously I didn't, because I could see exactly. Yeah.
Well, so like, sorry, one of the things that they adjusted, and it's like why the supercharges and the temporary defenses are being added, is that they're making it so the gap between a new player or a returning player and an existing player is smaller, because the person that's at that top town hall, which is 17 right now, we just wasted, how many months of builder time where we're technically doing upgrades, but the upgrades go away. And so then all of those upgrades, if you don't do them as a newer returning player, you essentially get to catch up on all of those months of builder time. So I think like right now, it doesn't feel great to be a maxed player doing temporary defenses, but I do understand why Supercell is putting it in, because it is a bit of a catch-up mechanic. Now, if they could just figure that out with ore, because I had a max 14 that I had abandoned, and I recently started playing it again, and it's got it had max Town Hall 14 defenses, it had max Town Hall 14 heroes, obviously not the minion prints, because I think I got like a level 50 minion prints on it, or whatever the Town Hall 14 would have gotten, and doing attacks on that account. Even now, I rushed it to 17. I have max dragons, max balloons, and popping hero potions, power potions for whatever spells that I have that aren't leveled or whatever.
Like my kind of Friday night. No.
Right. I do all of that, and then my attacks are garbage because my equipment is nothing. I have like no epics maxed on it. I have no commons maxed on it, and it feels really bad to go from my main account, which is maxed on everything, and I'm like, cool, I can do any account that I see, any attack that I see on YouTube, I can do. I'm a 6-year experienced player, like I can pretty quickly pick up on new attacks if I need to. And then I go to this account and I feel like garbage. I feel like I'm the worst player on the planet. Like I did my first CWL attack on that, and I got like a 75% 2-star, and I was like, what happened? I don't understand. It's so just terrible.
Equipment.
Right.
Yeah, because nothing boosts the equipment unless you get something out of one of those treasure chests, right? So
you know what I did here. So here's a little trick for anybody for future reference in treasure hunt events or whatever. So the last set of treasure chests that I got a mighty morsel out of. So I waited the 24 hours until it was like 6 minutes left on the timer, and I popped it. and I had planned all my builders, so I don't need to build anything. Everybody's working, and I have not done an attack other than the 2 CWL attacks. So I still have one more Mighty Morsel attack, even though it's been several days since I popped the morsel. So now it actually has maxed equipment. But yeah,
oh my God.
so yeah, it worked.
Do you guys? Okay, I'm remembering. This is one of the questions that. Okay, I got to think about how to. I'll think to the episode and the kind of where I was going to get to as we talk a little bit. But do you guys do not like the temporary defenses at all?
I do not.
I see their point, and I don't like how they feel.
Why does why does burning like this? Because I was listening to your episode on the way to see Liam, and I was thinking about this. Like, would you rather have builders doing nothing, or would you rather have a temporary defense?
From my point of view, I think 3 at once as an introduction, I think was too many. Like maybe do 2.
Yeah.
So that you can it's busy work, right? It's just keeping us busy so that we don't whine and complain that there's nothing to do. But and it's a way to eat up some loot to keep us farming, etc., etc. But it's also you can only do 1 level on each one at a time, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
So one of the things that I was saying about the crafted defense was I wish you could put 3 builders on 1 module, so that, like for example, this season the hook tower is a pretty decent thing, right? Like I always laugh at it because I bring a barbarian king, so if I can get the hook tower to hook the PK, I'm easy money. I'm tripling all day. But if you were, say you were a new player or a returning player and you got to Town Hall 17 pretty much as they dropped the crafted defense, well, you're not going to touch it really because you don't have enough time and you have other stuff to do that's going to be permanent. So it's like this weird thing where you're not going to interact with the mechanic. So that's what part of what I don't like. And also the 1 builder per module, it feels like, well, if one of these things is good, I can't even max it faster by my choice of, like obviously I'm making a choice of neglecting the other 2 defenses, which might turn out to be better, because there's so much experimentation that happens and the base builders have to figure out where to put stuff, and all of that sort of meta doesn't develop for several weeks as people start working on them. So it's a bit of a risk reward that I think is silly that we don't have, in addition to I didn't really love having 10 levels on every single thing, that all of the levels were really short. Like there were just a lot of feels bad moments on the crafted defense where,
I think that was a little bit of a gem thing, because then it's like, oh, I'll be sleeping during that time, for a few of those things. It's like, let me speed that up. I think like it's kind of interesting because like it's an interesting question, or like the debate even has been a little like I think everybody's take is just interesting, because it's like it is what it is. It's just kind of like the way you kind of look at the game, I guess, or the way you kind of play the game. Just for me, because now that I'm maxed and bored, now this could all change a little bit because the new legend trophy, or the legend rework or whatever, and it might kind of put it into that realm. But like that was the part, I think, just as you said that you kind of articulated for me, the part that I kind of enjoyed was that you had to play that uncertainty card. Like all of a sudden all of us are on this like playing field, and of course you could like gem them, right? But for max players or for this window, you kind of have to take your like estimated guess and say, okay, I got to strategize here. I've got a temporary defense. Do I think that it is going to be valuable enough? And then how do I fit that upgrade in along my existing things?
Right.
And then which of those ones do I bet that is going to be the most powerful?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, so from my point of view, my main account, Cat, was completely maxed when these defenses dropped. So it was no big deal for me to throw loot and builders at it, It gave me something to do. But then, like I said, my second 17, I still had walls to do. I hadn't finished any of the supercharges.
Okay.
And the temporary defenses, well, I had to do them a little bit because otherwise,
Yeah.
I'd be giving away defenses, right, in war.
Yeah.
So,
Can't keep the
it
hot
just
tub there. It's like a free hot tub.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, it's like T said, it's, if you're busy upgrading stuff, then these things are just going to kind of sit idle and not do you any good, right?
Yeah.
I think there's just a weird set of incentives for all players where, again, I understand the math. Like, I've gotten so many DMs of people being like, "Don't you understand the math?" I understand the math. Like, let me be clear.
I'm never arguing math with another human being.
Right. And like these guys always DM me, and I'm like, I could show you the spreadsheets. I know the math. Like, you don't have to try and correct me. It's fine. It's the incentives of where do you put your loot, your builders, and all of that. And to me, it was interesting that all of the levels of the crafted defense were bad book and hammer options. So, like every other town hall, I usually finish. I finish around like August. Like I don't like not having things to upgrade. So I kind of plan out where I don't stress too much about having all of my builders working 24/7. Like I allow for real life to happen, where when I was like upgrading on the way, I was like my builders were working, like back to back. Like I would gem something to start again on an evening or whatever. But the fact that like all of those levels were bad magic item values means I didn't buy offers that I might have bought. I have stockpiled more CWL medals than I have ever had at the end of a town hall. And I don't think that it like accomplished the feeling that Supercell was looking for, where it's like, oh, everybody's gonna have this like, the optional defense or whatever. Where I think if they had done maybe 5 levels, even it was still 3 months to get all levels done. I don't know. We'll see what they do. Like they said they were going to do something about people that had maxed it during the season, and I haven't heard anything about that since. So maybe they dropped it, but I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be interesting for sure to see how it moves on in the future. And I've seen some leaks about the new buildings in it. It's like, well, what happens if there's a season and there's no good crafted defense, or there's one that's insanely busted, right? Now you have all of these like really interesting, in a bad way, interesting, not good, like interesting decision points of like, are you allowing pay to win players a bigger advantage? Yeah.
Be very careful. I don't know why they just don't put them in you have your crafted defense and they just every 3 months one comes out and you add it in your library, and then we have a big catalog.
Yeah.
I mean, that's of course there's problems to that, but
yeah. One thing that I am wondering about is, okay, so mid-November, this crafted defense disappears, right? So
Everybody get a hole in the face.
as a 17, are you just going to have a hole in your base, or will there be this placeholder, box? And what does that do to Town Hall 17's defense rate? You know what I mean? It's especially if you lose like some of the
supercharge levels,
the supercharges, right? If Town Hall 18 drops.
Well, that's the same thing that happened when Town Hall 17 dropped and the Town Hall 16s all like the balance of Town Hall 16 was built around the supercharged levels. And then Town Hall 17 came out and the supercharged levels went away, making Town Hall 16 defenses worse. So Town Hall 16 was one of the fastest falling town halls in clan war leagues that I have ever seen. And there's a guy on Reddit, Robotic Chicken, I think, or Robot Chicken, something like that. He's delayed, but like for every CWL month, he posts charts of what town hall was in a losing, a maintaining, and a winning clan in every single league for 15v15 and 30v30. It's a eye-opening amount of data that you can look, and because he posts it every month, you can go back in time and see, well, what was it like January after Town Hall 17 released or January after Town Hall 16 released, and you can see how fast the Town Hall Max -1 falls off a cliff, and Town Hall 16 was the fastest one, and I think Town Hall 17 is going to be even faster. I mean, we'll see. It depends on like how quickly they get rid of those supercharged levels and if the signature defense of Town Hall 18 is good or not.
Kind of we
didn't even.
I hadn't thought about it because I'd never been a max player before when that came about, and
right.
And maybe I think somebody mentioned something the other day about it, about what happens, and has been epically busy this week. But when you said that, then it really kind of hit me. But then also those domino effects of I just mind blowing. Obviously,
well, and if you remember when 17 first came out, because 17 lost the eagle, right?
Yeah,
you had all these 16s higher up on the war map.
Oh yeah,
right.
And the people who were max 16 and they'd gone to 17. It was such a mess. And I'm just wondering what's going to happen.
And I don't think I honestly did it all during Hammer Jam. 16 was all Hammer Jam, so this is like. Sorry, T. What'd you say?
I think Supercell learned their lesson of deleting a major defense in order to upgrade. Like, I lost a bet against two people because they were saying that they had heard on like leaks and that they were thinking that you were going to have to, one, max your eagle before you could upgrade to 17, which I agreed with. And then two, that you were going to have to merge both in order to start the Town Hall 17 upgrade. And I was like, there's no way. There's no way. It's not. I will bet you a gold pass. I bet 2 gold passes. And they released the information. And I was like, well, I'm buying 2 gold passes for people because that's what you would say.
They're not going to be betting this year.
No.
He learned his lesson.
We had one bet in the Rush channel in CFF where one of our guys was very confident that Hammer Jam was going to have a cost reduction again. They were going to have a time reduction again because that's last year's was the first Hammer Jam that had a time reduction. So we basically made it so that no matter what, we're going to do a giveaway for a gold pass when Hammer Jam comes out. Because I can't remember which way he bet. I think he was betting that there was definitely going to be a time reduction, and if there wasn't, he was going to do a gold pass. And so I was like, look, no matter what, one of us will donate a gold pass when Hammer comes out. So I did learn my lesson of I'm not going to bet multiple.
Don't post it online. No, I did all 16 during that 2 weeks, and now
how many
it makes
builder potions did you spend? I'm curious.
During that,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that we could even.
Yeah,
it was. Does
Good.
20-some over 20-some? That sounds right?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I've been telling people to save their CWL medals since like September-ish. So
because I did that
with a full load of 2,500 medals gets you 88 builder potions, and I don't know anyone that did 88 and continued playing. But I know a lot of people that did between like 30 to 60, and you get a ton of progression in that time frame, and it's doable.
I got to look back now that you mention it, because when I was saying 20-some, that was really, I think it might have been in the 40s, but I
Yeah, that
used
sounds more right
a
if you did.
ton. I bought
Yeah.
everyone that I could.
Mhm.
CWL medals, like
You just burn right through them.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
didn't max it. I'm like, I just hate the look of Town Hall 16 so bad. Like, I didn't like the wall colors. I just do not like the look of it. So my whole plan was get everything ready, get through it when the next Town Hall comes up, and get as much of that stuff off the base into the new Town Hall. And then I just skipped, I double walled it because I don't
Yeah.
like the look of the walls. So I just went one wall, 2 upgrades at a time.
Yeah, I'm doing that on my alt because I hate the Tunnel 16 walls so bad. They're so ugly.
I don't know what it is. I can't. And now it makes me nervous for Town Hall 18. I mean, what if it's a worse version?
I'm a big hater of Town Hall 14, so as long as it's not Town Hall 14, I'll be okay.
Same with 14 too. I totally agree.
14 was horrible.
Yeah, those, and I did the 14 walls like that too. I'm like, I can't look at those yellow and green things. Like it's just
weird, sickly jungle.
Yeah. So my upgrade order with my strategic rush, what else will be based on?
Well, let's face it, the Town Hall 8 walls were the best ever.
Mm-hmm.
Are those the ones with the caps on it?
The skulls.
Like the
skulls, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those are cool.
Those should have been with Town Hall 9. So Town Hall 18 is Supercell's chance to fix this and get it right. Bring back the skull walls.
Yeah, what would you like to see in a wall? Nobody wishes for a new wall these days.
I want skulls.
Skulls, any particular, I could see like a pillar kind of.
Yeah. The Town Hall should be a skull.
Yeah.
I want like gargoyles perched on it. You know what I mean? Like gargoyles like on the corners, like a gothic horror themed Town Hall would be delightful.
That's cool.
Oh, that would be so good.
What do you think they'll go with? Because has it in the past like gone by? This one was at Justice. Do they go lighter?
Yeah.
So what did we have? We had like green and yellow in 14. Then we had like blue and purple in 15. We had like the gold and red 16, and then we have the kind of purpley blue 17 question mark. So I think we're gonna get some amount of red. We haven't had that in a while. Good.
I'm guessing we're gonna get like a Candy Crush theme with like multiple colors all over the place.
Right. Yeah. Rainbow.
Taste the rainbow.
Yeah. You'd think they got to test it. Like, imagine like a whole town hall that everybody just does not like the look of. And they just say, no, I'm not going to go up.
And you're stuck with it for a whole year.
Yeah, stuck with it for a whole year. I don't know what I'd do. I don't know. The town hall.
I think that's also kind of like So one of the things that Riot does in League of Legends, for example, and Capcom does it in Street Fighter, and I'm sure a bunch of other places too. They release like chromas. So instead of releasing a full skin of something, they'll release like a recolor. Imagine if you could spend like $5 and recolor all of like the buildings and walls of a town hall to like a different color. I don't know that Supercell would ever do it because, well, yeah, like instead of like having, like imagine you wanted red and you could just like tint everything red, something along those lines, or even if it's just the highlight on the walls, you could change the color. You know, like when the walls like flash and like the flash like travels down or whatever,
like red eyes or yellow eyes.
Yeah,
maybe they'll bring back those electric blue walls that they used to have. What was it for Town Hall 10?
Oh yeah,
I mean, those are cool. I like those.
I like electric. Seems like they used to move. Well, I guess they move now. I like the ones.
As long as they don't do. As long as they don't do 2 wall levels in a town hall, I'm pretty okay. those are the worst town halls.
Let's hope they learn their lesson on that.
I think so. I hope so. It's just every time Supercell does a bunch of really good and fun looking stuff, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop of them being like, yeah.
Do you feel like it's right now at the best it's been? And maybe that's just too load of a question, but
I find myself
like
having more fun in Clash than I've had probably since I was rushing. Which I'm like the spreadsheet nerd, like the optimization efficiency nerd. So like rushing an account to me is the most fun that you can have in Clash. I think this is a pretty close second, and I think a lot of that is Clash Anytime. I think a lot of it is I'm pushing Legends for like the first time ever, so I actually care about my attacks, which like I normally don't. So that's
Mhm.
a twist, and I feel like Wars. I'm Kat and I have talked on numerous episodes about how we want regular Wars to get improved, but I do think caring even like 1% is more than double what I used to care about regular Wars. So the fact that there's like anything, like I'm pretty pleased with everything,
the
and
needle's moving in
especially
the right direction, I guess.
right. And the update that's coming, the matchmaking update, Kat is probably sick of hearing me say this at this point. Is like I've been crowing about this. I think since I was on season 1 of Clash Tips, like I was saying we need these two different modes. Like that farming is its own type of gameplay and competitive play is its own type of gameplay. So I'm really excited. I hope all the implementations go well and we all end up happy with the changes. But I'm highly optimistic about the current
Yeah.
game state and that change.
For me, I'm enjoying the game. I'm with T on that. I'm enjoying the game a lot more. Like Town Hall 15 just about broke me. It was
Really?
monotonous. It was
I've heard
depressing.
that.
You know, there was basically one type of army worked,
Mhm.
and
You
And did
carry
work
the
great.
scars
frustration.
of Town Hall 15.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then 16 was still broken. 17 seemed to get they seem to get back on track. Some adjustments. I find that, if you want to use dragons, you use certain types of dragon attacks. If you want to use ground, it's actually viable again. I'm
Yeah.
a little scared what this whole Springtrap rework's going to do to the game. I'm not sure it's needed because it seems to me it's a nerf to ground attacks, and I don't know you know, what they're going to do to balance out air attacks.
Right. Or
You know,
introduce like that temporary troop or introduce something else, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
But I'm
I
not sure what they have against ground attacks, other than we know that a lot of the devs love dragons, but
Oh.
I
Yeah,
I think
I'm a ground guy.
Kat, I think you're safe. I've been watching a lot of the update videos
Mhm.
that, Judo and Itsu have been putting out. And the spring trap, I think, is going to be a factor in defenses, which is different than before. It's been ignored and basically worthless for years at this point. So I think it's going to be a thing, but I don't think it's going to fundamentally kill any strategy in the ground. And I think it will make I don't know what variant, maybe not specifically hybrid, but I think miners and hogs will benefit pretty heavily from this. So there may
Oh.
be a second/third viable ground troop other than Root Rider Valk and Super Yetis.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's possible. Like I have a very difficult time looking at balance changes and predicting how the metal will shake up after them because most of the time the balance changes aren't even really impactful enough on their own to do something. It's just like the top end players and base builders will make slight adjustments and then that trickles down to be bigger differences in less professional attackers. And it's interesting to see like how metas shape up and like what we all kind of laughed at like half the stuff in Town Hall 17 when it first came out. Like everybody thought
Yeah.
the snake bracelet was garbage, and it turns out it's pretty solid. Like everybody hated the action figure when we were like first dealing with it, and then it's like the crazy strongest piece of equipment in the game. Like it's
Mhm.
people figure
Yeah.
stuff out over time.
I could not help but think that might just sound nuts. Because I'm not sure I understand the mechanics of. I mean, I don't know like the particulars of it. Yet, but like think about even with like ice golem entries, like
Mm-hmm.
would putting some spring traps hurt a ice golem and make it spring sooner? You know, like
Well,
the variance
they
in
released the damage amount's like 1,300, so golem troops are probably fine, more or less. And heroes take like half that, so it's only like 650 to a hero. So I was talking about
could be
it
cool strategies.
today.
Like,
Yeah, I think it makes a long RC charge a much more of a risk reward decision. Whereas right now, if you have the technical execution ability to do a long RC charge, you can pretty much do that on every single base and get a fairly predictable amount of value. Now, that's kind of skipping, that's kind of putting the cart before the horse, where developing that skill does take time, effort, and practice. I don't want to like belittle that.
Yep.
But I think the spring trap change will make those types of charges less of a guaranteed amount of value, which then means other attacks bring safety to the equation, and consistency, that are all of these things that, if you don't, like, I don't have the technical skill to do a 10 to 11 invisibility RC charge. I can't do it.
Yeah, same.
I'm not putting all my eggs in that basket. I'll tell you that much.
Right. Exactly.
That's a
But
lot of
right
spells to
now,
invest.
Yeah. Sounds like other people
right.
be on my playing level where like I'm aiming it at this place and I'll see what I can get and then go from there.
Yeah, so
So,
I don't think like ground is gonna die. People were kind of, saying the sky was falling when the spring trap was first announced to be changed back in the summer, and I kept being like, guys, everybody calm down. They're not gonna delete strategies from the game. They're just gonna remove some of that like couple percent of top end value, and that will allow other things to shine. And I think that's what's gonna happen.
and maybe see even how much you love it or not. You know, how bad your
Right.
reaction is to it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you
I
guys
mean, we
gain?
adjust, right? It's, you think back
Yeah.
to the old days of Town Hall 9 when they had to nerf healers, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because the queen charges were so strong. And there was such an
Yeah.
outcry from the community about that, but
And then
people
like
adjust.
Inferno's like deleting healing, then not deleting healing, like there've been so many changes to the game. And plus,
Mhm.
thing that I keep trying to tell people is like, we have no idea what's coming with Town Hall 18. Like, there is this rumored like new mechanism or new mechanic that's never been seen before,
Yeah.
but Supercell says that a lot. So I don't believe until you show me, but there's going to be at least one new signature defense. There's probably going to be some sort of new merge tower. Like, there's going to be
There's
different
gonna be
stuff.
new
So,
troops.
Well,
yeah,
and,
we'll see.
and when I was listening to you too, you reminded me there's a development cycle
Hmm.
to things and like a rollout, and I personally am not a big fan of the no wait update. I just
Hmm.
the more it goes on, the more I'm not a fan of it. I think it was kind of I think it was a little bit more of a heartbeat than I thought it would be. But because I think the not overlapping, unless you have maybe a well-established community, or I just think there's a lot of social impact that comes um, from uh, that has far-ranging consequences. But at the same time, then you see things like this new legend rework coming in, right? And then
Mhm.
you go, well, maybe now one thing that they had planned that maybe I think having kind of a negative effect. How like maybe they've already accounted in part for how the whole picture will look together. So it makes me think like it'll be cool to see how all this kind of fits with the other stuff too.
Yeah. I mean, there's always trepidation, right, when they introduce new mechanics because, I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think it
But
is?
I think it's just a new signature defense. That's all. I'm fairly pessimistic on Supercell's hyping of stuff like this, like their marketing language. I've been through the mill before, and I got burned by the battle builders because this is the same sort of language they used before Town Hall 14 dropped, and they were saying like brand new mechanic, never seen before, like
What
hyping
was it? I
this
wasn't
thing up.
playing then.
It was the
What?
battle builders, the upgrading your builder huts to be defenses.
oh, right. Yes.
Oh.
And like, look, they're not useless. In my tier list of defenses, they are above mortars. So I don't think
Oh.
they're worthless. And level 2 is very good. But when Town Hall 14 dropped, I was so down on those defenses. They're just like not that good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of upgrades for them, and they're, I think, I would say, the worst signature defense of any town hall, with maybe Town Hall 16. Like I don't know. Like Town Hall 16 has the merge towers, so it's like
It's
it
like a
feels like it's
check
not
out
a
this
real
new castle with the best garbage cans in the
right.
in
Like
the
ricochet cannons are banana
yeah.
bands, but they just like don't feel like signature defenses to me. Maybe
Yeah.
that's just like the curmudgeon in me, or the old man shouting at sky meme in me, but I
I
don't know.
didn't
Yeah.
Battle
have that
Builders, I think
history.
is it.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's certainly not like, when they introduced the eagle, like that was
Right.
hugely impactful on you.
Yeah, the
It
Eagle
affected
shaped our
how you
meta.
would attack, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. That's
Impactfully
kind of my
disappointing to me. Oh, that's my update that I look back at and think probably like your builder or battle builders where I was just disappointed. I don't know what it was about the eagle, but that was a rough one. That was a really rough one for me
Yeah.
for some
Well,
reason.
it was very different. It made the whole game warp, where before the eagle you kind of could do spammy attacks, you could do long thoughtful attacks, you could do anything in between, and it all kind of felt up to you. I
Yeah.
remember, like, I quit in Town
Mm.
Hall 10, and then I came back later when Town Hall 12 was maxed, and I remember like thinking, wait, what do I have to do with this defense? Like, when does it turn on? Like, how many shots? Like, how do I freeze it? Like, all of these things
Yeah.
were so different because before, like, if I
Everything just
froze,
died.
yeah. But if I froze any defense other than that, if I froze an expo, if I froze an inferno tower, I got whatever the amount of time my freeze was worth of
Mhm.
value. But if you tried to just freeze the eagle, if you didn't time it correctly, you weren't getting the full value out of your freeze. So it was like this hugely warping
Yeah.
thing that murdered your troops and had like weird mechanics that weren't well explained unless you like went on YouTube or Wikipedia or something. So, but what's funny is, to me, the eagle was one of the best signature defenses of the entire game. I thought it was great. It's like my favorite thing, and I'm sad that it's gone in Town Hall 17, to the point where if I see a 16 in farming, I'm always like, do I want to attack that?
For nostalgia's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think I was so terrible at the time that like
Mm,
if you're bad already,
it's very punishing. Yeah.
and yeah, it it just kind of brought my skill level right into focus, I think.
Yeah.
um One thing I wrote down before you got here, and this kind of came up. I was wondering, do you treat your accounts, do your mini accounts, are they like different personalities? I
Maybe.
don't mean it like, do you pretend that they're like,
Mhm.
like your impersonation, but like I don't attack with air, but like Scotty Jr., I can whip out some dragons. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and And that was I think I had said it on a podcast that I wouldn't be surprised if on like I get to like I max out my second account and then I attack with air on that account, but I couldn't do it on my main account. Like I mean, I don't know if I'd be able to actually do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have like what I think I have 9 accounts. 2 9s. I just took 1 to 10. I have a max 11. I have 2 14s, a 16, and 2 17s. And each one does different types of attacks. Like, you know,
Really?
my 9s, of course, like are witches. I love doing Queen Charge Hybrid on my 11.
One's a
14,
musical
like
savant, plays knows
my
17
14s, I'll
languages.
throw dragons out there. It's like, you know. But yeah, it's fun, like to try different things on different accounts, right?
Yeah. But does one become just its identity?
Probably, especially for my
I'm just
9s.
curious, like
Yeah, my
if
9s is
it
like
happened.
are my goth accounts, and so witches all the way.
Oh,
And,
I love that. That's awesome.
yeah.
B?
I've only recently restarted playing a second account. I find I have a lot of difficulty being the relaxed player.
Really?
Where I know on my main I've explained like the way that I have continued playing the game is to basically allow myself to always have something upgrading because I'm just so
Yeah.
bored when my builders are all idle. I don't like it.
I learned that lesson.
Well, you need
So
something to farm, right? So
yeah, I like the farming part. The farming part is the fun part to me.
yeah.
So on my mini that I just started playing, I think right now I'm just struggling with the lack of equipment. And once I get the equipment, I think that's going to be my air account, period. Because that's when I used to have 2 maxed accounts back in Town of 14. I had my mini, which was like my spam account. It was the one where I was like, I only attack certain types of bases with this. It's my consistent, I'm going to triple like the 4 island base, for example. Like I was like, I know how to hit that base with I think I don't even remember what the spam attack was in Town of 14, but whatever the spam attack was that was popular then, I like knew how to do the 4 island base with it. And so in CWL, I'd have both my accounts in it. I'd scan all of the bases. I'd find one of those annoying 4 islands that would give other people trouble, and I'd immediately hit it with the mini because I was like, this is what it does. It takes the annoying accounts out of CWL and lets everybody else have their pick of whatever. And then my main would be something that I was usually doing. I did Queen Charge Hybrid for a very long time.
Mhm.
I think I dropped it in Tunnel 15 when Monolith, Spell Tower, Super Minion CC, all 3 of those together would just delete my my Archer Queen, and I got way too frustrated, and I would like fling my phone across the room, and I'd be like, okay, I can't break my phone. This is too important. I have to give up on the Queen Charge. But yeah, my main right now is doing just very silly Super Yeti equipment attacks with the revive spells, and I'm above 5950 in Legend, so it's working good enough. But I'm like I've resisted learning Royal Champion Charge on my main because I don't want to put all, like we said before, I don't want to put all my eggs in the same basket. It's very nerve-wracking, and I enjoy the lower execution pressure of the spammier attacks right now, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
What's your main army right now?
I've been using the Super Yeti revive since Shock came out with it a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Question mark. I can't remember when he came out with it, but before that, I was using dragons. I was using Hydra, I guess it's called the Dragon Rider mix for probably the first 6 months of Town Hall 17, and then from then until Shock came out with the Super Yeti hit, I was using the Mass Dragon with Archer Queen with the action figure Giant Arrow and the Royal Champion with the Rocket Spear e-boots funnel nonsense into the Mass Dragons.
Okay.
Yeah, Super Yeti is my favorite right now. I was doing the RC charge, and it was so tedious and boring, repetitive. Like the
How
Super
many
Yeti,
invis did you take with yours?
like 5.
Okay.
4 or 5. It was not a long RC charge. I'm not that good.
Were you doing the like Phoenix, like let the
Yeah.
RC die, or okay, yeah.
But
Yeah, I
yeah,
kind of took version of
go ahead.
Shock's furnace
Yeah.
thing with a little bit of an
Furnace
RC
fireball?
block. No,
Okay, just the
well,
furnace attack.
he had one video. He had one video a while ago, and I watched it and I kind of got off on a tangent and have been chasing down that trail for a while. It was the super barb fire or furnace.
I watched that video. Yeah. That's
You
a
probably
good
know
one.
what I'm talking about. And so now it is evolved into a super yeti furnace attack. Well, and you might, I don't, you probably don't, you see a lot of war attacks, I'm sure. But in that draft wars, I was using, I think, the version of that. I think I've now put in like a overgrowth into it, but it's pretty much like a super yeti attack, but I just use furnaces instead of some super yetis, I think. But I'm using the torch for the center for the super yetis because I was just like, it seems to do about as much as healing, right? Because instead of like them letting them die, or healing them up and letting them die more, and I thought, well, then I don't have to worry about the jump of this part, so I can send them in at whatever. So that with the tome, then then I know they're gonna take a bunch of damage and stay beefier. It seems to work. I honestly just threw it in because I was using the healing tome, or not the healing tome, maybe the healing gem, life gem.
Oh yeah.
And I just tried it and it just worked. So
Do you have your torch maxed?
Yep.
Wow.
You're the only person I know who's done that.
Yeah,
oh my
exactly.
God. Why aren't people using it? It's like, I suppose if you're not a ground army person, then it like makes sense. But like, you're basically getting a jump spell and like what would you even call, what's it called? Like damage reduction. So so you're just not getting the buff, but if you've got healers on your warden or you got healers going into it, then you're still kind of getting the benefit. I've swapped back to the life gem, and I don't get out of it what I am getting out of the torch.
Interesting.
But if you want to talk about like mechanics and like incoming damage, I have no idea what the hell's going on. It's just working really well. And I'll just try to I will hit it as late as humanly possible. Like I'll get it in there, even if maybe even let my troops get lower than I think. And I just know that if I can get that warden close to the center, I'll have enough coverage to keep things like, to get that town hall, to get through the king through a wall. And I mean, the stuff just jumps right over them.
Yeah.
Like the super yetis. I think it is. I know they go through. Yeah, they jump right over the walls, don't they?
They like do this weird animation where they like phase through the wall because they were having. I think it was like a bug where they couldn't get the animation for them to jump over properly. But
yeah, it's just like they just all of a sudden just move where they normally just hang up. So so I don't need the healing as much either.
Yeah, you're not sitting there getting destroyed.
Yeah,
I think that's like a pretty interesting idea because if you have the overgrowth, you're protecting both for a high damage area that you don't want to go into yet. You're protecting for funneling. You have like one of the things that causes me failures with the Super Yeti attack is when they decide not to go through to the next compartment that I thought they were going to, and they go around where you could pop the torch at that point and they'll just go straight through. That's actually kind of interesting. Like I think a lot of people, including myself, thought, because I saw the leaked stats for the torch from last year and they were insane. It was like 45% DR and a 30-second timer, and it was just
people
ridiculous.
were worried. Yeah.
And then we saw like this version, and it's like, oh, it's so much less, but that does make sense. Like it's depending on the amount of damage that's incoming, there is a breakpoint where the healing tome and the damage reduction of the torch will equalize. So I'd be curious to see where that math is.
Here's a benefit to this, is a picture that's coming into my mind where it helps that I didn't think it would help.
Yeah, you were just messing around with it.
Well, I mess up a lot. It's the state of affairs.
Right.
So like when, you know how if you've got like your super yetis and they start to kind of walk around the outside, or like the king is going up towards the top.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the aura is so big on it that if your warden is behind, right, like he is like, you know, he's kind of chasing it, right? And he's going to get stuck getting shot at by these, like the interior.
Right.
Whatever.
The most frustrating thing on this stupid warden AI.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the aura is so big that like it captures it a lot of the times at that corner, and then they just kind of melt in and kind of come together better. So it saves them from rounding the corner a lot. Like if I'm like, oh shit, it's going way too wide, it just is like, and it'll bring them in. So it's yeah.
I'm interested to hear that, because I've gotten my torch to 11 and I'm stockpiling because I was expecting Supercell to release a busted equipment next, because there've been it's like kind of a couple duds in a row. Like the Dark Crown ended up being viable and good when it's maxed, but it's not so much better than his other bits of equipment that it's like, oh, you have to use this.
Right.
And then the torch came out and people, the torch came out and kind of, you know, other than you, I haven't really heard of anybody using it. So to me, that's kind of like a flop from Supercell's point of view. So I'm expecting this next one.
I'm happy to hear that, because that means it won't get nerfed. Yeah, I was using it in the draft war cat when I did my attacks in that.
Yeah.
It's getting buffed, by the way.
Is it really?
The torch?
Yeah, the torch is getting buffed.
Oh no.
This never happens to me.
One of the things.
This never happens to me. Yeah,
Scotty's gonna be way ahead of everybody else.
Oh, man, I'm feeling good about myself this Saturday evening. That's awesome. So what's getting buffed with it? Is it incoming damage, I'm wondering?
Somebody, I think either Itzy mentioned it or Judo mentioned it. Somebody mentioned there's like a small bit of it that's being buffed.
Anything. Wow. Supercell. What? That's awesome.
You just made his weekend.
13 years later. I benefit. Oh, that's awesome.
So the torch is not a buff. I apologize. I misspoke. They're fixing a bug where units were getting stuck in the wall when the torch would run out. So they're making the torch more usable.
And I'm glad you mentioned it, because I caught it on video. And then I completely forgot about it. I thought maybe I'm the only person that's ever seen this happen before, and this is going to be my make or break YouTube moment where this catapults me to America's Got Talent or something. And I replayed it. It was a friendly though, so that's where I was not ready to submit it for review. So I replayed it a few times and I recorded it, and it was like the warden at some weird point and it was in a wall, just stopped there. It was like would not move. It would not shoot anything. I'd never seen anything glitch like that in the game before. So thanks for reminding me, and I'm glad to know that won't be happening anymore.
There you go.
How's your CWLs going so far?
So far so good for Red Thorn. You know, I don't think we're going to promote. Like, we're in Champs 2, and I don't see us promoting unless something strange happens. But seems like we get in a group where like we hold our own, and but then there's always like some really, really super try-hard clan that jumps to the top, and we can't quite catch them. So we're doing okay.
There's a German clan, and I think just because they're a German clan, I wonder if a little more intimidated. But looks like they're like the strong ones we're up against right now, and it's hard to know, because is it Champs 3 that's the lowest one of Champs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
We just made it there, and so like testing the waters, like where are we gonna fall, kind of thing. So
Champs 3 is not too bad. I think Champs 2 is the worst place to be because it's really difficult. It's everybody wants to promote out of Champs 2 and only one team gets to, and it's really cutthroat. And like right now, Sons of Guns, we took a pretty hard loss on our first war. We lost by like a star, which always kind of sucks. And I think I think we'll be okay. The one thing I'll caution everybody, and I have to always kind of caution everybody in our family about making predictions based on like day 1, day 2. You don't know who the crappy clan is yet. There's always one clan, sometimes two, that's like garbage. That's not going to get all their attacks in, that has old bases that are getting demolished. And so like you might see a clan that won like 44 to 38 and you're like, "Oh, they're the good clan." But it's like it turns out that they're actually just beating up on the bad clan. You know, like you need to see a couple matchups and see how everybody's scoring, because a bunch of times we've been in Sons of Guns being like, "Oh, I guess we're out," but it's because we played the two best clans first and then we demolish everybody else and we're still good. And it's like you get demotivated because you see, "Oh, we're in 6th place after 2," and it's like, no, we just took 1 or 2 bad losses against the best clans in the league, and then we're gonna destroy everyone else and end up in 2nd or 3rd place, and we'll be fine.
Yep. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, sometimes you look at the teams that are in, and there's a clan at the bottom. You think, "Oh, are they the worst team?" But then all of a sudden, they just like start blowing everybody out of the water. And
yeah. I always wonder what's the best position to start, because on the one hand, if you start off, like I almost feel like it's good to have, if you're going to lose on maybe on the first one, but close. But be in the middle of the pack.
Losing. I hate losing all the time. I would rather be in first place the whole way.
The whole way.
The whole way. I want to be the people that everybody's gunning to try and beat. You know what I mean?
Well, I guess the equation is if you're gonna lose at all. Just because like we get, because I think that was last CWL in War Pig's words, and I agree with him though. I think we got a little bit complacent because we were doing so well. And then even though in the end we won by 20 or so, that 20 gap could have, it should have been a 30 difference, but it could have easily, like with being cocky or like, just not paying attention to the last couple matches, or that little bit less percent could, if you take your eyes off the prize, I guess.
And all it takes is like, somebody to 1 star, and that can really make a huge impact. On
we've missed out on a Champs 1 promo because of one star. Where we lost to the people who ended up beating us by 10, and we lost to them because of one star. And I think I don't have an answer for like when the best time to lose is, but I do have an answer for when the worst time to lose.
The best time to lose. I guess that's probably
time to lose. I think the worst time to lose is the last war. If you lose War 7, it feels worse than any other loss, in my opinion. It's just like there are circumstances where it feels not as bad. Like if you're in one of the lower clans that's like hey, we were just coming in here to get some stars and get some medals, and who cares where we finish, and we're probably going to be in 8th anyways. Like that's different. I'm saying like when you're trying for promotion and you lose War 7, it feels awful. That's the worst one. I don't know when the least bad one is. I'll put it that way.
Kat, when do you like to lose or to not lose?
I don't like to lose at all. I'm way too competitive for my own good. I hate losing. I mean, if we're
If
going
you
to
had to
lose,
lose one,
if I had to lose, I want it to be because the other team was just so good that they actually beat us. I don't like losing because we beat ourselves with,
that's the
1 stars or whatever, or
good.
missed attacks, that sort of thing. Just
That's a really
sends me
good way
over
to
the
put
edge.
it. It's when we lose to ourselves is the only
Yeah.
thing that when it really gets me. I honestly though, I want the buzzer beater. I want I would rather have it come down to the last minute, to that grueling minute right up at the very last where it's just in our reach and it falls. Cause then it's
Yeah.
like we've all just put it in and it's like the excitement of the moment.
Yeah.
Versus like earlier in the week. But
Yeah.
I
love close wars, like, when, like you say, when it's, every attack
crowd's
counts
going
and,
wild.
you're very evenly matched. And
Yeah.
The other team is just, at that particular time, the other team is just slightly better than you. And you've given it your
Right.
all. Everybody's done the best they can. That is a great war. You feel good. Even if you lose, you feel good because you know that everybody's done their best.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And had
think
fun.
like in Champs 2 for us, it's like any war where we score 42 or better, I think we're kind of pleased with ourselves no matter if we win or lose. Like if the other clan puts up 44, it's like, hey man, good job, right? Like just like Kat's saying, it's like you guys did better than us, but it's not like we put up 36 and you put up 44, or like we put up 36 and you put up 37, and then I think that's like the worst feeling is when you do very poorly and it's against a team who also did poorly but just slightly better than you. Like that feels pretty terrible. But I don't know. I want to be first place the whole time. I want cruise. I want cruise control, deletion of my enemies. I want to see them crying. I want like a 60-star gap. Like the most fun that I had in CWL. That's not true. I've had fun at this top level with because like I enjoy the guys that I'm playing with. But I think the most satisfying for me individually as a person, not as a group, was when we were in when I was like first started playing and it was loot and grind. We were still in like Crystal 2, and I finally convinced more than half of the people in loot and grind to start rushing. And every single month we started promoting and promoting and promoting. And when we finally matched the Sons of Guns, because we had paired with them by that point and we got to the same league that Sons of Guns it was in, I was like, see guys, I told you rushing works. And I was like, that's the most satisfying win I've ever had. This is the greatest thing ever.
I'm retiring.
Yeah, basically. But like we like our like victory lap into Champs 3, which was where Sons of Guns was at the time. We promoted out of Masters 1 with I think a 90-star lead. Like we had gone almost perfect and just destroyed everybody. And I was like, this is the best. This is the greatest. This is the best thing ever.
I don't remember the losses for very long. Like it just it is, I think it is like for me, like I like the way that you put that, like the beating yourselves and that's kind of just that's the absolutely the part I enjoy is when you're when you're all working together in those moments and it's exciting and like the draft wars were really fun. Like people going over and like getting to hit other people, got to hit Rick and what else did I hit? I'm blanking on it. What else did I get?
I think there's
I got to hit another podcaster too.
There's something to be said for like knowing who you're attacking.
Yeah,
that's a new level of satisfaction, I think.
It was cool, and like that kind of stuff is really exciting to me. That's a lot of work to be doing all that stuff, like for you guys as podcasters and community. Where do you guys spend like your time mostly, or like?
Well, I mean, CFF is so big that you get a lot of people working together, right? Like somebody comes up with the idea for the event, and then they they get the nuts and bolts of it together. And like for the draft war, it was Sky and Barkey, and then they recruited the team captains, and then
just kind of built out from there.
Yeah, and then most of the people in the CFF and our friends they've been around long enough that everybody knows what to do and to be in certain places at a certain time. So it works pretty well.
Things are in motion, like flowing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've seen in Sons of Guns, we like one of the things that we do pretty well, I think, is like we do a 1v1 tournament like every single month. Like have people that are always willing to like step up, and I always found in a lot of different gaming communities that I've been in, I found that a lot of like the older players, the establishment players, would be not welcoming, not necessarily like mean, but like not welcoming new players with open arms. And I've tried to cultivate and I've tried to cultivate this like kind of attitude that anybody that's willing to do the work is worthy of doing the work. So if you have an idea for an event, like do it, and we will support you the best way we can. We will add bots if you need bots. We'll put announcements if you need them. Like we'll support you. But like if you are willing to do the work, we'll be behind you. And we kind of have found a perfect pairing in CFF, because I feel like in CFF that's kind of the prevailing attitude is like, look, nobody is going to do the work for you. If you want to do some wackadoodle event, great, we'll help, but you're going to be the one that does it. And so what that means is you have a lot of people that have these ideas, and then they get to do them, and then they get help, and then more people do them, and then they get the help, and then more so we have this nice kind of like self-fulfilling cycle of people running interesting stuff. And the draft war, I think I was really sad to not be able to do it this year. Just personal stuff. My time is all over the place. But like the draft war happens every year, and it's like a known thing. And then we have events throughout the whole year that we're doing. And to me, as if you're going to be in a Clash family on Discord, that's the point. The point is those fun events. The point is like, hey, we need to do a charity event. We'll do a charity event. We need a silly fun event. We'll do a silly fun event. We'll do the yearly event. We'll do whatever. And you surround yourself with people willing to do the work and support them, and you're good. You're like, I take zero credit. I've done nothing to support and help CFF other than just like be around to answer questions. And like everyone else is doing the work. You know what I mean? I've done nothing. And
but I mean,
that's like delightful.
I come from like my background in Clash is I've always been involved, even before I was in the CFF. I've always done events. One of my original clans, Hollow Graves, we used to just do fun events, and we'd come up with these wacky ideas like, it's Halloween, let's everybody use witches. This is before witches were strong. Nobody used witches at that point. And we just like invite, go on Twitter and say, hey, we're doing an event, come on over. And people would show up, and we'd have lots of fun. Being involved in the old Clash Babes group, doing fun events with them. And then so it carried over when we joined the CFF, events were a big thing.
There's a lot of pieces of my memory coming back throughout this conversation, even though I'm not saying
like
them all.
flashbacks or what?
Yeah, oh yeah, like Clash Babes and okay, I remember.
Yeah, when I was back in EYG, I helped EYG run 3 tournaments that were like multi-thousand person events. And so like I kind of burned myself out on doing that. And
Will do
also
it.
kind of yeah, I mean, I was also like it's illustrative of the difference in I don't want to say anything bad about EYG because they did help us out and it was a great place to be for where we were and to the time. But there's just a difference in like the vibe, I guess, like the amount of supportive energy that was in EYG was like 0, right? It was prove us wrong. Like prove us that you can do this, right? Like there was not like oh, well, we're going to help you. It's like, yeah, you want to do that? Then do it. And I think it's changed since we've left. There's new leadership and I'm sure it's different. But like with CFF we joined and it was like the moment we joined they were like, "Oh, you guys do a 1v1? Do you want us to shout that out to the family?" Like totally up to you guys. Like no drama either way. Like, "Oh, you guys like they added the 2v2 friendly challenges or friendly wars." Like they immediately we started promoting that and like I don't know, there's just like this attitude in CFF that like events are fun, we should do them and it's not a big deal for anybody whoever has the idea to do it. And I think it's like keeping everybody engaged and happy and friendly and fun. Like I don't know, it's a great place to be.
Here's how I think how kind of like I see it too is it's hard to know where one starts and stops, with the draft war and the stuff that comes through, like to keep everybody where everybody's from and stuff straight because it all just like goes together. Like you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's like you're saying, like their person's putting it on, but it's hard to tell. It's such a collaborative environment kind of thing.
Yeah, I think
what I'm getting at.
people just step up, right? And they say
Yeah,
this needs to be done, they just step up and do it.
that's cool.
Yeah.
And thanks for the invites to those.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks. It's fun, like just to be around and seeing people. And we used to do some podcast wars back in the day against each other. One of these days we'll have to do like a pre-CWL like podcast something or
Podcaster
just like
war.
Yeah, podcaster war. Or I don't know, just like it's something like that where we each like bring a couple people or something like that, or just some fun things because that's the stuff. Like I agree, like makes it really exciting and
exactly. And it's what T and I always tell people is if you're Max and you're bored with the game, it's like get involved in events, make an event.
Yeah,
like doesn't have to be like a 3-week tournament. It could be like
right,
some kind of scrim or something. It's like
right,
the game is what you make it, right?
for sure.
Yeah,
I think we'll
if
see
I
a
had
huge
more
change
time,
too.
sorry. If I had more time, one of the things I would love to do, and I've like put it out there, and like nobody's really taken it, is like I don't know if you guys remember how the non-Max Town Hall community tournaments used to do limited events, like you can only use these troops, or you
Mm-hmm.
can't use the witches, or you can't
Yeah,
use siege machines. Like I have a Town Hall 11 that I maxed and abandoned back from when the Town Hall 11 node siege leagues were popular. Like I'd love to see more events like that. And like one of the things that makes me really sad about Supercell is that I wish in friendly challenges you could like for any upgrade that you've done already. So I'm not saying like you could fast forward time. Like say I have my max Town Hall 17. I wish in a friendly challenge I could like click a button and be like, "Oh, for this friendly challenge I'm a max 12."
Yep.
That would be so much fun for community events to be like, all of us take our mains, let's down level them to 12 or 11 or whatever, and do wacky attacks. Like that would be because like it's so difficult to
You've
say
been
like I
through
want to do. Yeah.
And make it let the tournament organizer do it. So you start it and you have select the town hall, the highest town hall, and then you could reduce, the defenses and just select it. And anybody who joined automatically, if they had it above that level, were at that. And so you wouldn't
and I
have
think
to
Judo Sloth has gone on record a few times asking for the ability, when you're doing an event, to say, okay, this troop's not allowed or this equipment's not allowed, just by selecting a menu button, as the organizer, and then anybody who's in that war automatically wouldn't. So you're not having to sit there and watch, well, did they use this troop or,
Yeah.
Like the thing that I've always wanted to do is the how low can you go challenge, where it's like you take a Town Hall 17 max base, right? That somebody has. They have a saved base. It's the same one for everybody. You put up a friendly challenge, and everybody has to try and attack it with the lowest town hall that they think that they can max it with. And then you just like keep going, like, oh, I think I could do Town Hall 16 versus 17. And then if you triple, you get to stay in. And then somebody else could come along and be either match you or do you one better. If they do you one better, now you're on the block to get chopped. And like to do something like that would be really fun, I think. Or like the reverse, like every round the town halls go up or the town halls go down or something like that. Like it'd just be fun.
Like round 1, it's 17s versus 17s. And then you could go, every
like
time it gets harder.
16s.
Or like a 16 against a 17, 15 against a 17. And then people who were max too can also have that.
Yeah, exactly. And like that's what I think the hardest thing that I ever dealt with in like community organizing is balancing wanting to have your new players who are not maxed accounts, like you want them to participate because it's fun, but they're not going to have fun if they're not the max town hall and decent offense, and they're going to be like a liability on defense. And it's like kind of, unless you have like a perfect even amount of accounts that you can kind of distribute between all of the teams, it ends up like feeling bad for everybody, like I wish you could be like, oh, hey, we got this new Town Hall 12 that just joined, like let's have somebody downrank their account for this event and they'll be a Town Hall 12 to like match them or whatever, like that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of coding they'd have to do that. So
yeah, I have no idea. The spaghetti code is very brittle, so probably never
is it
happened,
really that bad?
Oh yeah.
It's not even a matter of bad. It's a matter of Supercell has never done what a lot of the other long-lasting games have done, like League of Legends. Riot redid the engine at one point. World of Warcraft, Blizzard redid the engine at some point. Like all of these super long-running games have a refresh to their base code at some point. And I don't know if that's possible on mobile games because Clash is such an outlier in terms of, how long it's been going. But they've never done it. So we're still basically on the same platform that Supercell launched with like how many years ago. So it's just all of these like patchwork things that have been applied over time. And I'm sure they've done their best. Like the fact that the game exists, right, is a testament to their skill at keeping the game going.
Definitely.
Right. So like when I say spaghetti code, it's not a knock on the developers at Supercell. It's a reality of a 13-year-old game that has never gotten a major engine update. You know what I mean?
Well, like you say, it was built for
not a
mobile games at
like
13 years ago, right? 14 years ago.
Right. Yeah, think about the technology difference.
That's a lot more development than you just even think, like in that time. There weren't screenshots when Clash started. My first screenshot is of me at level like 100.
Oh wow.
That's I think something like that. Kind of wild. Well, you want to do some shout outs?
Sure.
We'll wrap up. Who'd like to go first?
You go first, T.
Okay. I want to shout out Baiters. I've shouted out Baiters a few times because he's a delightful player, but he just ran a friendly challenge night, which we used to do a ton of in Sons of Guns, and it's been one of those things where the person who did it, stopped playing, and then we never really have been able to get it going again. And they're just great nights. I've heard really good reports. So, shout out to him for running it. Shout out to Scotty for having us on. It's always fun to talk Clash with new people. I'm sure Kat is sick of all of the same stories that I keep telling. So I appreciate you for having us on. And lastly, I would just want to shout out real quick Clash Ninja, or Ninja from Clash Ninja. The new update was, like, we're recording this on a Saturday. The new update basically just came out, and I was searching everywhere on the internet to get a copy and pastable data of the hero upgrade timer changes, and nobody had it. There's like a weird, I don't know why the Google Doc that was attached to the Reddit post, you
don't
couldn't
have
make
like
a copy of it.
Nerd Squad to. You don't have like you don't have like somebody dropping stuff in your mailbox secretly in the night.
No, it's me. It's me. I build all the spreadsheets by hand.
You're the one that has answers the tape on the window. The X.
Right. Yeah. Basically,
Yeah.
I'm the always sunny meme of Charlie with the chalkboard and the rope. No, Ninja came through. He had a copy and pastable table, so I was able to actually update all my spreadsheets for the changes, which is infinitely helpful to me, because otherwise I have to hand code everything. So shout out to Ninja. I mean, he's also just a great dude in general, and has great website, clash.ninja. So just shout out to him for being great and always helpful. And yeah, that's it for me.
For me, I'm gonna shout out just a couple of people that always go above and beyond at Red Thorn. Magnus, of course, he manages CWL for us every month, puts together all the rosters. Really appreciate it. Gonna shout out Whip over at Phoenix Reloaded, because he does the same thing. Him and Blaze, they put together the rosters over there. So that's, as T knows, it's so much work to manage multiple clans and put rosters together. Yeah, and all of my co-leaders who are managing the various clans during CWL, I appreciate you all. And yeah, that's about it for me. And thank you, of course, Scotty, for having us on.
Thank you, guys. Just a follow-up question to the shout out. You organize a CWLT?
Oh yeah.
and
been doing it for a while.
My question on that, in your clans, and this was the one that I was on the back of my mind when you were talking about earlier. Do you during CWL, do you end up like pretty much sitting a lot of the clan then? So it's like only part of the clan CWLs, or does everybody kind of make space?
We run 5 clans during CWL.
Okay.
So we have a Champs 2 roster, a Champs 3 roster, 2 Master 1 rosters, and a M3. So the M3 usually maintains. Every once in a while it'll demote, every once in a while it'll promote. It kind of depends on the fluctuation of new players. One of our M1 rosters, it kind of like promotes every 3 months into Champs 3. It's difficult for us to run 3 Champs rosters at this point. So usually the Champs 3 roster will demote back to M1. But yeah, so we run 5 clans. We don't sit anyone with an asterisk. Every clan has 2 extra people over whatever the limit is. So it's either a 17 or a 32 person roster. And then we sit the lowest 2 accounts. So whoever, like, that's like the way of like, if you're having a bad month, you're going to have fewer attacks so that the clan is insulated from that performance. If you're having a great month, you get all of your attacks in, and the clan is then benefited from that. And that's kind of also how we run the promotions and demotions and stuff. So,
okay, yeah, I was just curious because like that's kind of Kat and I were talking earlier before the show, and about kind of the distribution of the houses of Val and stuff, and that's where a lot of our secondary clans, what we use it for is to kind of distribute over during CWL. So
yeah. I know for like Red Thorn, we run like 6 clans, and 4 of them are in champs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of champs rosters.
Yeah.
And are those clans just sitting there like empty, kind of like on the side then, like for the rest of the month?
Yeah, 3 of them do, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where we kind of run. So, well, thank you guys for being here. It's always like so much fun, and it's always a little different when you get to like talk to other podcasters and stuff, because I don't know, it's really hard to just not talk when you show up, man. and we're just sitting here blabbing away, and it's like I'm writing things down, like don't talk about it, and just to connect with people you like listen to and have been warring with and against, I guess, in these wars. So thank you for being here. A thank you to the House of L for my absence this week. I've been warring and doing everything, but it has probably been the most busy I've been in my life in a long time. And that finally came to a little bit of an end as we got into CWL. And so kind of settling in, had this new base company this month. So everything this CWL week was a little bit off, just like with timing and things. And but everybody got to where they were supposed to be, and it's cool to see. And I'm hoping we just hang this month, which will probably be the case in Champs 3, and just see what the waters are like. That's kind of my goal. If we happen to promote, that would be awesome. But my goal is just let's see what if we can hang, and what these wars are like. So shout out to everybody in the Clash community, content creators. I'm looking forward to what's going to be happening with this stuff coming up. I think it's going to bring back a different life in a different way. Kind of take us 17s who are doing legends even to having to protect our loot, right?
Yeah.
Only 3 times a day. It'll be okay.
3
Everybody will be fine. Yeah.
But still. So I look forward to that. And I will. I'm always messing this part up. Where should people get a hold of you? And find your podcast, Pineapples. Sorry. Do you have any contact information you guys want to?
Well,
point
the
people to?
podcast is available. The podcast is available on all the usual feeds like Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
And you can find the links to that on my website, I should say, if you're curious. And they'll put these in the show notes as well.
Yeah, and if anybody's interested in talking to us, they can join the CFF server.
Yeah, you can Google CallMeTees. Yeah, everybody gets one, so you can tag me once and then you'll find out. You can also just Google CallMeTees Rush Bible. It's available everywhere. Google works. And in there is a link to the CFF Discord. So if you want to join that way, you can as well. And that's kind of what I'm known for, is the Rush Guide. So if you have any questions about what I was talking about or what kind of sense I was making, it's probably discussed in there.
Daddy T's Bible.
Exactly. I'm gonna have to change the name now.
No. Sorry. Got the giggles. I'll have all this stuff up in the podcast, in the show notes and on the website for everybody. Thanks for being here again, guys. Until next time, get a hold of me, clashofclanspodcast@gmail.com or clashofclanspodcast.com. Until next time, keep it clashy. Skilly beep 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 skilly beep. Sorry, I found a cat that I was trying to gain approval from.
Sorry, I'm just doing my word text.
Do you remember saying that to you? that you wandered off and gained a cat's approval.
Did I say that?
On your podcast? Yeah, you were talking about how you. That really made me laugh. Like you went to a party, you were at a party, and that.
Oh yeah.
that one, yeah.
That was like.
Yeah, I mean that's like the best feeling. I at that party there's I don't even remember if I told this in the story, but there is a second cat in that household that I've never even seen, and I'm determined that I'm going to befriend this invisible cat.
You're determined to get invited to the clubhouse, the secret room, the secret place that nobody knows about. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
somehow, some way.
I'm not allowed to tell you.
I have to like find what that cat's like favorite treat is, and then just start like bringing it and like leaving it when I go to the bathroom there.
Keep it in your pocket. Keep it in your pocket.
Yeah.
And then my cat never does this to anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Live on air, I just went 14v16 and tripled, so I'm happy.
Hey, there you go. We got a professional in here
with dragons.
Nice.
How's your?
Don't tell C-Note.